Hello there, Diet Rebel Scum and Diet Rebel Scum Curious. Diet Rebel Scum being those of us who have taken the government and medical establishment food pyramid recommendation and said, hell no. Nope, we don't believe that. We are taking that thing and we're turning it upside down. We don't believe in high carb, low fat. We believe in high fat, low carb. Meat is not going to kill us. Well, maybe it is if you eat a shit ton of sugar with it. Did I already cuss? I try to keep this stuff clean. I keep thinking I want to be agreeable and family friendly, but I tell you what, this is going to be a rant. I'm going to be ranting Mick Randerson today. It's been a long time since I've checked in. Sorry about that. It's been real busy. This is the holiday season. Christmas is coming up, and I've got crap to take care of around the house. I'm a Renaissance soul. I have a lot of hobbies, not enough time to do them all. So things become a mess around the year. Then family comes to visit. I've got to clean the place up because we host a family member here, which I absolutely love doing. So anyway, it's a time for me to fast in a real rapid fashion, get a bunch of stuff done that I don't get around to doing. And anyway, that's what I've been doing. So I've been doing a lot of work around the house on the weekends and things while still keeping my running up. And yeah, that's a ongoing deal, with this low carbers that are trying to be good athletes too, even into our ripe old age. We want to age gracefully, and damn it, we're going to do it if we don't succumb to all the freaking holiday sugar that is freaking everywhere. Okay. Rant number one. Okay. I do very well at work. I start off fasting usually, no breakfast, and I go run Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays early in the morning, meet my running peeps and run. And I always do that fasted. Then I may have coffee. No, I will have coffee most likely, 99 times out of 100. And I have been ordering, I'll go ahead and get a vanilla latte, and whatever comes in that vanilla latte, I know it's sugar, and I know they use whole milk. There's plenty of lactose sugar in there, and so I go ahead and do that. Excuse me. I've been doing that. I've been doing the whole, I'm not trying to keep every gram of carb out. I'm just going ahead and letting these small things trickle in. I am not part of this new movement of where you're deliberately... what this has been going around. I can't remember if I mentioned it last time I did a video. It's been so long since I've done a video. I can't even remember what the hell it was I was talking about. I probably should have looked at what I talked about last time, so I know I don't repeat myself. But it's inevitable. I'm going to repeat myself because some of this shit needs to be repeated. I think it's worth saying again and again and again. So back to the holidays and the temptations. So just the other day, right outside my office door, somebody, well, wasn't somebody, did I tell this? It seems like maybe I've just told other people in person, not on the channel. But I do good. I get to work, and then a former boss comes and visits and puts this white chocolate covered cereal mix stuff. There's a name for it. Then it's a holiday season thing that's kind of popular. You melt chocolate and put it on crunchy stuff is what it amounts to, and it's usually like crack cocaine addictive. It's probably worse than that. But anyway, it gets set right on top of this cabinet right outside my office door. So every time I go to the bathroom or want to go anywhere, go do something, I'm prepping my lunch, fixing my pound of beef in the little crock pot, I have to walk right by this thing, and it's up almost eye level. No, damn well, it is eye level. It's right there because you got to reach up to get stuff. Anyway, all it takes is to eat one little chocolate covered pretzel, or get this chocolate covered M&Ms. There was M&Ms in this, the little bite-sized candies with the hard candy shell. A little bite-sized chocolate with candy shell. Yeah, that with more, I call it white chocolate. It's actually, I think we call it almond bark. they melt that and put it over there, but it's all tumbled together. And you eat just a little bit of it, probably 10 grams of carbs in that bite or whatever. And then the next time I walk by, oh, I'm getting the plate and I'm scooping it in there. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And I'm like, God damn it, the dam broke. And then the sugar comes flooding in. So that's happened several occasions. I'm ashamed to admit it, but it has happened. But I tell you what, every time this happens, every freaking time I let a big flood of carbs in a short amount of time like that, I feel the little pattern of, you remember back when I was talking about the flu symptoms, kind of like I was getting sick, or I was, so I haven't had that one hasn't happened again like that since then. But what I do get, and what a lot of people get, and this is one of those patterns that happens with low carb, what we notice is joint pains, like little aches and things. Like in mine, I don't have a lot of, I don't have tennis elbow or any kind of arthritis around the body. I just have my lower back problem where I've got like a couple of vertebrae that are a little compromised, a little degeneration there that was shown on a MRI. So I know I've got a little problem, and it's, right, can't see my camera's not that far low, but somewhere, above the butt. Pretty low, but above the butt. And that starts bothering me a little more when I'm running, when I've let some sugar trickle in. Yep, and it's a pattern, because when I'm strict for a few days and don't allow the candy and any other, like even non-candy, like having brunch on Saturdays with my running peeps. I ordered the highest meat item, at brunch, but it may come with like the little potatoes. So I may eat a few of those potatoes, breakfast potatoes. They cut them into little wedges kind of, or whatever. And they're probably cooked in some kind of hideous seed oil, toxic seed oil. But I usually eat a few of those just so, I don't know. I think it's wasteful if I just let it all go. And I freaking paid for it too. That's another thing. But anyway, so I'll eat a few of those, but no, that usually doesn't hurt me. It's usually when I do an ice cream binge, or the floodgates opening on this chocolate covered cereal stuff that's like sitting outside, and I wish I could remember what that's called. Anyway, reindeer mix or something like that. It's a Christmassy thing. So, all right, I'm ranting because after that was gone, a few days later, here comes the big tin of popcorn, candy coated popcorn, the caramel stuff, and then the powdered cheese popcorn with a cardboard divider between the two to keep them separated. Big giant barrel sitting on top of the cabinet out in the hall right outside my office. I'm not much on the cheese flavor one, but boy, the caramel coated popcorn that's another crack cocaine thing. And I don't even care for popcorn. I never pop popcorn. Even back in my vegetarian/vegan days, I didn't care for popcorn back then either. I mean, I could eat it. I didn't dislike it, but I wouldn't go out of my way to eat it. But you put a bunch of sugar all over it. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Enough ranting about that. My biggest thing, now this is the scary stuff that I wanted to talk about. Everybody keeps hearing about it. We all are looking at it, whether we want to or not, in our social media streams, but that's artificial intelligence, the whole AI thing. I tried to ignore that as much as possible, the whole thing. I think, it's like a marketing term. I think that, because so many commercials are, these companies advertising to us, or advertising to other businesses. Oh, use our payroll system because we use we merge AI with some other, and they just make all these buzzwords, make this nice glowy sounding paragraph to make you think their system's better than everybody else's because we've got the power of AI. Okay, so now being in the space I'm in, and hyper aware of all kinds of social issues and how the world's going to hell in a handbasket, and our medical freedom being challenged. I'm really afraid that AI is going to be used, if it's not already, in our health space. I can't help but think it's trickling in. It's gotta be, and it may not be AI per se. Well, maybe it is. Okay, see the definition of AI. I'm not really sure what that is, and I'm an IT guy. I'm not a real high level IT guy, but I've been a computer-ish guy my whole freaking career, all my working years since I was about 22, something like that. 22 is when I was like in an IT department, and that's where I've been ever since, except for 3 years I did some hard labor. That was a good time. Yep. That was a good job. Fun. Sweaty, but fun. And then I was back in IT. Well, back in a medical lab, and then back in IT after that. Yeah. So AI. When you're in your social media feed and you're reading comments, and the comments are very generic, and they're quite pointed to a certain ideology, and they're just they're too plain, in the you just kind of know it when you see it. You know it when you read it. You're like, I don't think that was really a person. That was it. And then you'll see others, other comments down it, no matter what the subject. Well, actually, it does matter what the subject is, because I think when it's something that, let's say, the powers that be, that want us to behave a certain way, are really trying to push a certain behavior or a certain acceptance of something, let's say a pharmaceutical product, these comments from people, it makes me want to click on their profile and see, is this really a human? Do they talk this way to other people? Is there clues to see whether this is a artificially made bot profile or not? So a lot of times, if they are faked, I've never talked to somebody or asked somebody who was really knowledgeable. I'm gonna have to Google that, see if there's some bot tells me how bots are made. But I always assumed it would be obvious, like, somebody saying, oh, drug XYZ is absolutely fabulous. It worked wonderful for me. Everybody should be taking drug XYZ. It's great. Okay. Well, if that person had like 4 friends, say it's on Facebook, they say that person's profile had 4 friends, it'd be like, okay, yeah, that's some kind of bot. Okay. But I'll like read some comments, and there'll be some really generic sounding thing like that. And it's like, you really wasted your time just putting that on there, I guess. It doesn't even sound like a very personable experience with the drug XYZ. And, I'll click on it, and they'll have like a lot of posts on kind of various things. Kind of looks like a real profile, if it shares anything. Sometimes everything's blocked, and says there's nothing to show, or, various security levels out there. But sometimes when I see ones that I think are going to be obvious bots, maybe it doesn't look like it, but I could be fooled. Okay. So I really don't know how this stuff works, but it's getting scary. See, AI videos, the ones that were real obvious, and I tell you what, I think they're maybe it's the different AI video creators are getting more savvy about creating them, or the ones that are getting recommended to me they're recommending me to in my feed, better done ones. And I'm not talking just about Facebook, but YouTube. And so the AI videos that are just super outrageous and meant to be funny, those don't really offend me too much. Here's the ones that were. It was like every day I was seeing a new one. It would be this huge fatty fat. So, well, not unrealistically large, because there are some really huge morbidly obese people out there, right? So, but there'd be some guy, and he'd be really large. but then he'd be jumping and bouncing, and the fat would be kind of going around, and the guy would do something somewhat athletic, for somebody that weighs, 500 pounds or whatever this guy's supposed to weigh, right? But it's the way the fat moves and the physics. Usually the AI videos, they get the physics a little wrong, where it's like you can just kind of tell. You're like, oh no, the guy defied the laws of gravity there for a second. So, and really, they were kind of outraged, and they were always funny. The big 600 or 500-pound guy fat would blob over, and he would fall and roll and do a flip or some dumb shit. Anyway, there was a whole bunch of those going on. Like there was some new AI fat generation thing where they could take somebody and blow them up, and you could just make them do funny shit. So then maybe that's what that was about. Well, that doesn't offend me so bad. What really is getting on my nerves, and it's getting on a lot of people's nerves, because whenever I see one of these videos and I suspect it's AI, I go straight to the comments, and it's just blanketed with people going, I hate AI. This is pissing me off. YouTube, stop it. Quit doing this. AI must be regulated. And it's just all this, because it's one of these. These are the kind, and this is what gets most of those kind of comments. It'll be like a cute animal video, cat video. I'm a cat person, aren't we all? And there'll be like some cute kitty, and it'll do something cute, meow meow meow, and but its eyes will be a little too cartoony cute, real big, or like little oversized, and it's real subtle. They're doing these things or making a cat do something extra cute, but it's artificial, and because it's too cute, but it's still believable. That is the problem. It's the problem is when AI video creators are making very plausible, real scenarios, but faking them. And then we go and we watch these, and we think, oh, isn't that cute? Because we think it's real. Because it's not cartoon, it's not computer graphics, like the Toy Story, where everything's exaggerated and obviously like a cartoon, a digital version of a cartoon, where we know it's fake. No, they're using like real, like maybe real images, real videos of real cats, and altering them somehow, however AI works. Well, that's making me mad. And the reason it makes me mad is not only are they trying to deceive you, and it's just the principle there. It's just, no, I want to live in a real world. I don't want to live in a fake world. I'm getting around to the diet thing here pretty soon. So now I'm actually having to rely on comment sections to tip me off that these videos are some kind of faked scenario, because some people are really good at spotting this. Here's one. There was one where there was a cheetah running, or is like in an African safari kind of thing, and I don't know what it was. Was it some animal was running for its life or something? I can't remember, but I want to say it was like a big cat, one of the big cats, a leopard, or I don't know, but it was running, and it jumped and hung onto the window of like a Jeep, of like a safari Jeep or vehicle that was driving across the savannah or whatever, and it jumped in, and it looked freaking real. But it was, I watched it like 6 times. I'll let it repeat. It was one of these shorts. It seems like they're always the shorts, those real quick, less than a minute videos. I had to watch it like 6 times, and it was an obvious thing that gave it away that it was fake, that I did not catch, because I'm looking for details. I'm looking for the claws. I'm looking for the cat's like elbow of its arm, or some kind of weird thing. I'm looking for some kind of thing wrong with the cat. That's the major part of the focus of the screen. No, it was the background. This Somebody in the comment said, "Isn't it strange how that Jeep just changed and went sideways at 60 miles an hour or whatever?" And yeah, it was really strange. So it was like, I think the view was out of the back of a Jeep or whatever, and of course the scenery is going away from the window because the Jeep's going forward, but the camera angle is looking out the back, and like the cat comes and jumps up and hangs onto the window of the Jeep or whatever the animal was. And then all that scenery that was going that way suddenly switches and goes sideways, like the vehicle is floating sideways. Okay. Well, once that was pointed out and I watched it again, I saw that. I was like, oh, yeah, freaking dumbass AI. It's like I almost believe that. I almost believe that freaking video because everything looks so freaking real. Now, what happens when all those kind of like things that give it away don't happen anymore? What if they get so real we won't know what's real or not? Now, I know I'm not the only one who's ever gone on a rant about this stuff. I'm sure there's tons of videos and people articulating how this is going to destroy us. We're living in it. We're living in it. And I'm kind of a latecomer. I think I'm a latecomer to this because people have been talking about it here and there. And I get little wind of it here and there, usually just expressions of frustration. Okay. On to why I'm afraid this is going to infiltrate the diet, health, fitness space. Now, this girl is not... here's another interview by No Carb Life. This guy, I think, is a chiropractor. I watched this interview the other day. Damn good one. Look this one up. 30-day experiment revealed about human health. This guy is really cool. He goes, the guy getting interviewed, he goes into, he's a chiropractor. The only doctor I go to is a chiropractor. She takes care of me. I trust her more than I trust any medical doctor right now, at least for a chronic illness or something, you know. Anyway, I know I've said that before, but anyway, so back to the AI thing. I'm going to use this. This girl here, she's not AI. I'm not saying she's AI, but I'm going to use a person like this as an example. This is Primal Bod. You can see down here. She was recommended in my feed, in my Facebook feed. I don't think she's got a YouTube channel. If she does, I haven't tried to look it up. I don't think. But anyway, has a lot of short videos, and I love her content. She's rather smoking hot. She's in her like mid 40s, and whenever somebody's in their mid 40s and looks that freaking good, I'm like, you go, girl. So anyway, I'm kind of addicted to her content. I always watch her short videos every time they come up in my feed.
Ascorbic acid. I take usually about 7,000 to 8,000 milligrams a day of ascorbic acid. So for all your
here she's talking.
You're going to get enough vitamin C like squeezing your lemon. You're just not, because your body should.
So in this video, she's talking about how she takes vitamin supplements, and yeah, she says she's not, there's purists, and like I say, and that's what I like to go on about too. I'm not a purist. I don't fault anybody for things that they're doing. If you're one of these people letting carbs in, blah blah blah, I don't care. Just tell us about it, and let's compare notes. See how we're doing. But anyway, so this girl, I'm going to use this one as an example. I'm really afraid that someday we will be looking at these fine specimens of people. There'll be influencers putting out content, and we will follow them. We'll be listening to them. And I'm afraid they won't be real people. From what I understand, stuff like that's already happening. I don't know if it's happening in the diet health space, but I do know that there has been some music produced by AI, and it's become like #1 hits or whatever. Didn't I hear that from some music influencer? I don't want to say influencer. Some influencer, content creator, or a music channel of some sorts. I heard somewhere in very recent weeks that maybe it was a country song. Man, I should have brought something to drink. I didn't think I was going to go on this long. But yeah, so many people, and they might even know if they're told, hey, this is an AI country artist or pop artist or whatever. This song wasn't even written by people. obviously a person had to approve it, but music's kind of like an artful math, and formulas, and things sound good to us because they are certain frequencies apart and stuff. Music is something computers could generate. And it's like turned out really good. Apparently, artificial intelligence computers can make really attractive music. Well, we already know they can do things with people, images of people, very well. AI can mimic voices. All you got to do is have all the vowel sounds and consonant sounds from people, and they can make somebody's voice say something they didn't say. No, the real person that the voice, was provided didn't really say. So anyway, all that to say, we need to be careful, folks, of what we're listening to. Use very, very good critical thinking, and not be fooled. Because here's a scenario I'm hoping does not get used. Like, it could be used to manipulate us in the diet and health fitness field to get people to do the wrong thing, steer us in the wrong way, making us sick, so that we are dependent on pharmaceutical products or have shorter lifespans. Whatever the goals of the not so great people out there have for us poor plebeians, we peasants. But what if artificial intelligence, somebody puts out a character like Primal Bod here, and let's say she looks real, she looks human, not flawless, pretty hot, but not flawless. So it's believable. It's like the AI videos with the cute little cats. It's like, okay, that was a real cat. You see, that was a video of a real cat, but just things altered to really suck you in and go, oh, isn't that cat cute? Okay, well, they could do this and make a very realistic influencer that's not perfect. So you think, oh, well, that's just a regular person like me that's done well. And I'm not saying I've done well, but just regular person. I am not artificial intelligence, although you might think I'm perfect. I am not. I am a flawed human being. But yeah, let's say there's an artificial intelligence influencer and telling us all the right things at first, saying, okay, I eat 2 pounds of beef a day and doing well and blah, 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 blah. And then they have that influencer after a few months go, oh, things are going wrong. Oh, I'm going to switch over to this. And I'm going to start letting sugars in, or I'm going to start taking drug ABC. I found out drug ABC, wasn't for drug ABC all this time, but I tried it, because it's a friend. Get what I'm saying? They may use artificial people that aren't real to kind of like get us to trust them, thinking they're real, and then get them to, well, I guess since she was having problems and she says drug ABC is okay, or XYZ, maybe I'll ask my doctor about drug XYZ ABC. That's what I'm afraid of. I think it's inevitable. Is it not? It's inevitable. If it's legal, they're going to do it. And I'm not saying it should be illegal. I've got a real, it's a sticky thing, isn't it? Free speech, which I am all for. But with that freedom, we have to be careful, because we are free to say things to each other and share notes, at least for the most part. Wasn't too long ago you could get in trouble, banned, shut down, and some countries put in a camp. But yep, we can still talk to each other and compare notes and stuff, but there's going to be some digital ninja kung fu coming in here, trying to warp our little brains into believing things that are not true. Right now, we just have people trying to do that to us. A lot of gaslighting going on. But when it becomes the digital world that we use to communicate, we're going to have to be careful. You know, the whole being taken over by robots, it may be digital image bots. It may not have to be a actual humanoid robot that we're going to have to fight. No. They're going to be here on our, I'm pointing at my computer monitor here. It's going to be right here. No, we're going to have to watch our video feeds and our all of our digital content. You know, it's the same as watching TV. You know, this is an age-old problem. You know, this didn't start with computers. It's just on steroids. You know, there's so much communication going on, which is a beautiful thing. We can connect to people. You know, I'm talking to people around the world. People from around the world can see what I'm saying here. And that's a beautiful thing. I freaking love it. But the people that have not such good intentions, well, they're in there mixed up with us. And they can do things like this. So Primabod, you got it going on, girl. And you better not be artificial intelligence. I will be highly disappointed. Okay, I got to get up early and run in the morning. And this is my Strava account. Feel free to follow me on Strava if you like. But I highly recommend don't subscribe to this channel. I am a ranting lunatic. Don't believe anything I say. Verify everything I say. Ask another opinion. Say, I heard some dumbass talking on the internet the other night, and he said this and that and the other, and bots are going to take over. Well, check with somebody else. Don't believe me. I need to put a disclaimer. When I go live on Facebook, I've got a little disclaimer. Don't believe anything I say. I'm not an expert in anything. I got to put that over in this for this channel. Yep. Okay, folks, it's been good to talk to you again, and I am going to go to bed. It is past my bedtime, and got to wet my whistle. Been talking like a... Anyway, I'm going to revisit this subject again because I've got examples. I see it every freaking day. Bots, and more bots. There's more bots than real people in my freaking social media feed. That pisses me off. All right. Until next time, let's keep things low carb as we can in this freaking holiday season, which I love the holiday season, but quit putting freaking carbs outside my office.